back to another Sunday sector review. As you can see today, we got the puppy sleeping in the background. So let's go over some macro data first that we'll have coming out this week to see kind of what the week looks like. A couple things in particular that I'll pay attention to. Monday, ISM manufacturing PMI. Tuesday, the JOLTS job opening, as well as Bullard speaks as well, but that looks like aftermarket close. Wednesday, we have OPEC meeting. That's important. So watch energy names, oil, as well as inventories. And Friday, we have non-farm payrolls and then the unemployment rate, which I'll be curious to see where this unemployment rate is, see if it ticks up again. I'm not sure if the consensus is out yet, but so that's what we have from a macro side of things. Now let's get into the markets. Let's start with the S&P futures minis. All right. So you can see that we rallied up into this previous supply area. I know last week I said I thought this 415 area was a pretty reasonable area that I thought price could get to. Now where it goes from here, it's hard to say. To me, this looks like broke down from supply, or from just broke down into the downtrend, and now this is it retesting what I would call supply. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us back down towards 393 maybe. From there, I'm not too sure. However, there is something that's kind of interesting here as we get into the tech sectors. They are approaching this kind of downtrend line, and it's not super clear right there in the NASDAQ, but if we go over to the sectors, right, and we look at the XLK, which is your Apple, Microsoft, your tech sectors, you can see this. To me, this looks bearish. So this was, you can see it pushed up into what is now resistance, this downtrend line. This is only the, the second touch as well. So, and you also can see it had lower volume. However, this candle right here, if we zoom in, this was a short-term squeeze candle. When it broke above that right there, then it stood up. So there could be people trapped there, but to me this looks like we're kind of just sitting in supply. So XLK is kind of what I'm watching here for the short side. Another thing is we just had the big tech earnings, and Apple, for example, a lot of times will sell for a couple days after earnings. So keep an eye out for something like that. And other sectors that I thought were interesting, XLY here, which just kind of got scooped up off the bottom into almost an overbought, and it's also at downtrend resistance. So the XLY, the XLK are names that I'll watch on the short side for some back and forth. I don't believe, not I don't believe, it's just that it's a, this is a very tough market to predict, to play. So I think you really got to be patient in these markets. Let's go over to Apple. This was Apple. And it held its earnings gap. So this is in overhead supply, though. This area right here was supply. So now one thing to note is that a lot of these names, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all of these, this volume up here, this is all overhead supply, right? So price is not just going to cut right back and through. It's going to be some back and forth until it works to the top of this range before it breaks out again. AMD, this is one of my favorite setups forming out right now. I think this one could possibly lead the next leg for the stock market higher over the next 3 to 5 years. This is my favorite setup. This is the best setup in the market right now. although it still could push down and make a new low before it tries something like that, right? So it's hard to say, but this looks a lot like MU. If we pull up the MU chart and we look at this right here, see we had a nice falling wedge. See that right there? Similar setup, right? And you saw how, in a matter of 3 months, pushed from 70s all the way up to 100. It's a really nice move. So AMD is something that I am watching for a move like that. Although I don't know that it's time quite yet for that move. I have not switched bullish. I'm still bearish for another leg lower, personally. But I think, obviously none of this is financial advice. This is my own ideals, but long-term investing, these are some great buying opportunities on some names. So the best companies in the world, if you're dollar cost averaging into them, you're going to be all right in the long run. But me personally, I've been taking less trades. I'm not really day trading this market. More so swing. So early this week, I'll be watching probably to play the backside, to play the short side of things. After a hell of a week last week, the past couple weeks. So that's what I got. Thanks guys for watching, viewing, and make sure we do subscribe to the channel and like the video.